We're in Sepphoris right now in Galilee. Right behind us is Nazareth, where Jesus grew up. Galilee is a region that has hills and wide valleys, just like the one you see behind me. Right across from us is Cana, where Jesus performed his first miracle, turning the water into wine.
Hey, we're standing here in Cana, which is the traditional location of Cana of Galilee, where Jesus performed his very first miracle, turning water into wine.
Hi, we're at Sepphoris near Cana in Galilee. Right behind me is a mosaic floor depicting scenes in the life of the Greco-Roman god Dionysus. Dionysus is the god of wine and merrymaking. In this region, Jesus came and performed his first miracle. He turned water into wine, showing that he was the one that was sovereign over wine, not Dionysus.
Look inspired.
Yeah, there we go.
We're on the western side of the Sea of Galilee on Mount Arbel, overlooking where most of Jesus' public ministry in Galilee occurred.
On the north shore behind me were the three cities between which Jesus did most of his public ministry. The three cities are Corazim, Capernaum, and Bethsaida.
Full atonement, can it be? Hallelujah, what a Savior.
That's so awesome.
We just climbed down the side of Arbel with the little handrails and stuff like that, and then went up into, I forget what the name of it's called, but they used it for a hideout, and then they were burned out. But you need me to do that again because I didn't say any of the names right.
We're here in Capernaum, the hometown of Jesus during his public Galilean ministry.
We're standing out here in a synagogue. This particular synagogue was built several centuries after the time of Christ, but beneath it was a pre-existing foundation that may have been part of the synagogue where Jesus taught.
After the feeding of the 5,000, Jesus came here and preached a sermon, and in John 6, we read these words, "I am the living bread that came down out of heaven. If anyone eats of this bread, he will live forever, and the bread also which I will give for the life of the world is my flesh." These things he said in the synagogue as he taught in Capernaum.
We're here on the north side of the Sea of Galilee. Capernaum is just down the hill from us, and we are in the district and possibly the airspace where Jesus spoke the Sermon on the Mount.
In this sermon, Jesus calls out a new community of believers who may be persecuted now, but in the end will be blessed.
Hi.
Behold, the sower went out to sow. As he was sowing, some seed fell beside the road, and the birds came and ate it up. Other seed fell on the rocky soil, where it did not have much ground. Immediately it sprang up, because there was no depth of soil.
We're on the Sea of Galilee, passing by the ancient ruins of Capernaum.
He got up, rebuked the wind, and said to the waves, "Quiet, be still."
We're here at Gennesaret on the western side of the Sea of Galilee. Behind me is a boat from the 1st century AD that was found here in the mud, preserved by the mud from the elements. And it is about the size of a boat that we believe Jesus and the disciples would have used when they sailed the seas of Galilee.
We're at the Upper Jordan, and in Jesus' time, this is the border where Herod Antipas is to the left, and Herod Philip is to the right.
And when Jesus had stepped out of the boat, immediately there met him out of the tombs a man with an unclean spirit. He lived among the tombs, and no one could bind him anymore, not even with a chain.
We're on the eastern side of the Sea of Galilee, and you can see that the hill slopes down straight to the waterfall above you. This is also the traditional location where Jesus cast out demons out of 2 men, thereby showing his power over evil.
We're at Corazim, where, along with Bethsaida and Capernaum, Jesus did most of his mighty works. Jesus condemned these 3 cities because of their unbelief.
Then he began to denounce the cities where most of his mighty works had been done, because they did not repent. Woe to you, Corazim! Woe to you, Bethsaida! For if the mighty works done in you had been done in Tyre and Sidon, they would have repented long ago in sackcloth and ashes.
We're at Hazor in the northern part of Israel, and we're overlooking Mount Hermon, which is over 9,000 feet in elevation, and the Israelites under Joshua conquered this region and burned Hazor.
We're at the Dan River, which originates from a spring in the ancient city of Dan.
We're at the side of Dan, sitting on steps leading up to a platform where Jeroboam, the first king of the northern kingdom, placed a golden calf.
We're on the slopes of Mount Hermon in the district of Caesarea Philippi.
In the region of Caesarea Philippi, Jesus asked his disciples who they thought that he was. Peter replied that Jesus was the Messiah, the Son of the living God.
Jesus took up three of his disciples to perhaps the slopes of Mount Hermon behind us, and they saw his transfiguration.
We're on the Golan Heights, on the road to Syria, on the road to Damascus.
Jonah.
They're good. St. Peter's fish, and we're eating it in En-Geb next to the Sea of Galilee.
I don't know how missionary kids pick up.
We didn't reach that one up here, guys.
We didn't think we'd ever make it. Drag me in. Yes.
We're standing here at the Jordan River. The Gospels record how Jesus came here to be baptized by John the Baptist. The Gospels tell us how the heavens were rent open immediately after Jesus' baptism, and the Spirit of God descended on Jesus like a dove.
And the men of Israel fled from before the Philistines and fell slain on Mount Gilboa.
Yeah, whatever. We need some reading material, no?
Reading material.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take some.
We're standing here in a valley that goes through Samaria and connects the two cities, Sukkot and Shechem.
When Jacob returned from the land of Aramea, he traveled between those two cities, probably in this valley.
Right behind me. Oh man, sorry.
We're overlooking the area where most of Jesus' private
The three cities are Corazim, Capernaum, Capernaum. Which one do you always, how is it pronounced? Sorry.
Hi, we're
No, not you, Katie. You did good.
We're standing here in a valley that goes through Samaria, I think.
Yeah.
That connects the two cities, Sukkot. Sukkot.
Shechem. When David returned,
Now, start.
When Jacob returned to the land of...
That was a trick.